Hello team, and welcome back to another video, and we are continuing on with our work with sequences and series. So today we're going to look at a specific type of sequence, and it is going to be an arithmetic sequence. So an arithmetic sequence will have terms differ by the same fixed number, and this number is known as the common difference, and we denote that with the letter D. So having a look at these two sequences here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 7, 4, 1, negative 2, have a bit of a think what the common difference in each sequence could be. Now, at this level of maths, it's pretty easy to see a pattern when it's sort of easy numbers like this. So obviously this first one is differing by 2, but then this second one's a little bit trickier because we're decreasing, but we're decreasing by negative 3 or by 3, so our common difference is negative 3. Now if we wanted to find a general common difference, and we've got bigger numbers than we're sort of used to working with, we take one term, so t of n plus 1, and we subtract the term that comes before that. Now that looks like this process here. So we've got a sequence here, 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30. So we choose any two terms next to each other. So let's say 15 and 20. So to find D, we must subtract 15 from 20. So the term that comes first is subtracted from the next term. So 20 minus 15, which is equal to 5. That means our common difference is equal to 5. So D is 5. Now it is important to check all visible terms because sometimes they'll throw in something that is just slightly off, and that would mean our sequence is no longer an arithmetic sequence. So an example of this is we've got 2, 7, 12, 17 and 22. Now this has a common difference of 5, but if we look here, 4 to 7, that's a common difference of 3. 11 to 14 is a common difference of 3, and 14 to 17 is a common difference of 3. But 7 to 11 has a difference of 4. So this means that this sequence here is not an arithmetic sequence because this pair of terms does not follow our pattern of our common difference, okay? For an arithmetic sequence, we can write a general term formula, which means we can look at any term in our sequence, no matter how big or how small. Now, this formula looks like this. So we have our nth term, so any n we choose, we can find using the first term added to that n value minus 1 multiplied by our common difference, okay? Now we're going to look at an example and see this in action, all right? So we've got a sequence 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. Now we want to find the general term formula. We want to find the 50th term, and we want to know if 721 is a part of the sequence. So let's start by looking at question A. So I like to write out the general term formula in general form. So Tn equals T1 plus n minus 1 times by D. Now we need two bits of information. We need T1 and we need D. Now T1 is really easy to find. It is the first term in our sequence. So T1 is equal to 3. Now remember, to find the common difference, we need to do some subtraction. So pick two numbers next to each other. I'm going to choose 6 and 9. So D is equal to 9 minus 6, which is equal to 3. So my D value is 3. Now let's substitute those values into our general term formula. So Tn is equal to 3 plus n minus 1 times by 3. Now we want to simplify this expression as much as possible. So what we're going to do, we're going to expand the brackets on the right hand side. So Tn equals 3 plus 3n, so 3 times n, minus 3, which is 3 times negative 1. Now 3 minus 3, they cancel out and equal 0. So Tn is just equal to 3n. All right, so that is our general term formula. So now we can look at question B, which is what is T50? So t50, so we're substituting in 50 for n, is 3 times 50, which equals 150. So my 50th term of the sequence is 150. Sorry. Now, part C. Now, this is a bit trickier. So C, is 721 a part of the sequence? So that means Tn is 721, okay? So instead of having Tn on the left-hand side, we have 721. And then this has to equal 3n. So we're trying to find what this n value is. Now, our one condition on these types of questions is that n has to be an integer, which means it has to be a whole number. So to get n by itself, we divide both sides by 3. Now, 721 divided by 3 is 240.33 reoccurring. Now, because this is not a whole number or an integer, we say that 721 is not a part of the sequence. Just like that. So super simple, just a quick test. Substitute in the value you want to find a part of the sequence in for Tn, and then solve for n. And if it's an integer, it's a part of the sequence. If it's not an integer, then it's not a part of the sequence, all right? So thank you for watching. Hopefully this gives you a quick snapshot on arithmetic sequences, and we'll see you next time.